Hi, my name is Nathaniel and I decided I'm going to give you some sickle cell facts today. This little thing in my chest right here is called a port. It's because I don't have any veins left, so they had to put this thing in my chest so they could just stick a needle in it whenever they need to give me an IV or anything like that. So, let's get going on those facts. And yes, my face is swollen. I know it, right? Sickle cell anemia is inherited. Means that you don't catch it from someone. You have to be born with it. Both your parents have a trait, makes a disease, so on and so forth. Sickle cell trait is the inheritance of one sickle gene, and it almost never causes problems. Almost. Some people do have problems when they have the trait. Virtually all of the major symptoms of sickle cell anemia are the direct result of the abnormally shaped sickled red blood cells blocking the flow of blood. Because the cells are shaped like this and they're jagged and they get inside the joints and stuff, and it blocks off the flow of blood, which causes all kinds of problems. The current treatment of sickle cell anemia is directed primarily toward managing the individual features of the illness as they occur. And let's keep going. Sickling of the red blood cells in patients with sickle cell anemia results in cells of abnormal shape and diminished flexibility. The sickling is promoted by conditions which are associated with low oxygen levels, increased acidity, or low volume of the blood, dehydration. These conditions can occur as a result of injury to the body's tissues, dehydration, or anesthesia. Certain organs are predisposed to lower oxygen levels or acidity, such as when blood moves slowly through the spleen, liver, or kidney. Also, organs with particularly high metabolism rates, such as the brain, muscles, and the placenta in the pregnant women with sickle cell anemia, promote sickling by extracting more oxygen from the blood. These conditions make these organs susceptible to injury with sickle cell anemia. I don't have a spleen anymore. It was destroyed by a sickle cell. And my kidneys have failed once. But thank God it only lasted a week and it came back to normal functions. Thank God for that. And moving on. Here are some symptoms of sickle cell. Virtually all of the major symptoms of sickle cell anemia are the direct result of... I read that already. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Here we go. The major features of sickle cell anemia include fatigue and anemia, pain crisis, dactylitis, swelling and inflammation of the hands and or feet, and arthritis, bacterial infections, splenic sequestration, sudden pooling of blood in the spleen and liver, congestion, lung and heart injury, leg ulcers, and septic necrosis, and bone infracs, death of portions of bones, eye damage, and other failures. I've got congestive heart failure. I have lung problems. I have not emphysema. I can't think of the name of it right now, but one of those lung problem things. And necrosis is happening in my knees right now. So in a couple of years, I might have to have a knee replacement surgery because my knees are messing up. So, and let's see. Continuing on, sickle cell anemia usually first presents in the first year of life. I was 3 months when mine first presented itself. Infants and younger children can suffer fever, abdominal pain, pneumococcal bacterial infections, painful swelling of the hands and feet, and splenic sequestration. Adolescents and young adults more commonly develop leg ulcers, septic necrosis, and eye damage. Blah, blah, blah. We all just read that. Pain crisis. A pain crisis in persons with sickle cell anemia are intermittent painful episodes that are the result of inadequate blood supply to body tissues. The impaired circulation is caused by the blockage of various blood vessels from the sickling of red blood cells. The sickled red blood cells slow or completely impede the normal flow of blood through the tissues. This leads to excruciating pain, often requiring hospitalization and opiate medication for relief. The pain typically is throbbing and can change in its location from one body area to another. Bones are frequently affected. Pain in the abdomen with tenderness is common and can mimic appendicitis. Fever frequently associated with pain crisis. A pain crisis can be promoted by preceding dehydration, infection, injury, cold exposure, emotional stress, or strenuous exercise. As a prevention measure, persons with sickle cell anemia should avoid extremes of heat and cold. Pain crises require analgesic. I can't pronounce the word. Can't get it out. Analgesia. I know how to say the word. I can't get the freaking word out. Analgesia for I can't get it out. Whatever. For pain and increased fluid intake. Dehydration must be prevented to avoid further injury to the tissue, and intravenous fluids can be necessary. Along with the fluids and magnesium are often given other such as biofilm, blah, 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 but none of that stuff makes sense. Hydroxyurea, God, my tongue is tied today. Hydroxyurea is a medication that is currently being used in adults and children with severe pain from sickle cell anemia. It is also considered for those with recurring strokes and frequent transfusions. These drugs act by increasing the amount of fetal hemoglobin in the blood. This form of hemoglobin is resistant to sickling of the red blood cell. The response to hydroxyurea is variable and unpredictable from patient to patient. Hydroxyurea can be suppressive to the bone marrow. I'm taking hydroxyurea. I've been taking it for a while now. Not really helping me much, but okay. So, I just gave you a little bit of what sickle cell is about right there. Now I could give you my real world experience with sickle cell and tell you what really happens. See, I'm in pain a lot. Like almost every day I am in some kind of pain. And the pain that I feel is not easy pain, you know? It hurts like hell, like you know, you just reading off paper like I was just doing. It makes it sound simple, you know, but it's not. This pain is torture, you know. You feel it in your bones, your joints, Like, it feels like your body's at war and bombs are going off all over your body, you know? And it takes everything out of you, you know? I mean, there's many nights that you just want to give up. Like, suicide crosses my mind a lot. It's just, it gets tiresome, you know. You beg and you plead for help and you don't get any, because there's nothing no one can do, you know. And the pain medicines, they help, but then they don't. Sometimes you just want to feel normal, you know. You just want to feel normal. You want people to understand that what you're going through is not a joke. Just because there's no commercials and there's no one telling you that, hey, sickle cell is bad, I'm trying to tell you. And I feel like no one's still not listening, you know. I'm starting a foundation for this reason, you know. I'm starting this foundation because I want people to pay attention. I want people to see that sickle cell is a real problem and people really need help. I mean, if you're not listening to me, just think about this: 63 kids a day die of sickle cell. 63. That's a lot of kids that lose their lives over something that no one pays attention to. God has blessed me to live long enough to see my kids. You know, I have 2 beautiful kids. I'm blessed beyond recognition. I have a wife, I have 2 kids, and there's a lot more kids out there that won't live to see this, that won't live to have experience what I've experienced. They won't live to have kids. And those are who I'm fighting for. I'm going to make this foundation work, and I'm going to get this word out, not for me, but for the 63. So one day that 63 could become 23. So that 23 could become 13. And that 13 could become 3. Until that 3 is 0. That's the fight I'm fighting. I need your help. Help me fight this fight, and together we can put a stop to this. My name is Nathaniel. I have sickle cell.